In 2026, something surprising is happening in the United States. Millions of people are packing their bags and leaving California, a state that was once seen as the ultimate American dream. According to recent migration reports and census data, California has been losing hundreds of thousands of residents every single year. Families, young professionals, and even successful business owners are deciding that living in the Golden State is no longer worth the cost. But here's the real question. Why would people leave one of the most famous and powerful states in the world? For decades, California represented opportunity, innovation, and success. It's home to Hollywood, Silicon Valley, and some of the most beautiful landscapes on Earth. Yet, today, something has clearly changed. Rising costs, new economic shifts, and unexpected lifestyle challenges are pushing people to rethink where they want to live. And surprisingly, many of them are choosing places most people never expected. In this video, we're uncovering the 10 biggest reasons people are leaving California in 2026, backed by real trends and research, and more importantly, we'll reveal where they're actually moving instead. Some of these destinations might completely surprise you. Number 1, sky-high cost of living. One of the biggest reasons people are leaving California in 2026 is simple. The cost of living has become extremely high. For many residents, everyday life in the state now feels like running on a financial treadmill. According to housing and economic reports, several California cities consistently rank among the most expensive places to live in the United States. Rent, groceries, utilities, and even basic services cost significantly more compared to most other states. For a lot of families, the dream of living comfortably in California is slowly turning into a constant struggle just to keep up with monthly bills. The biggest pressure comes from housing prices. In many parts of California, the average home costs hundreds of thousands, sometimes even millions, of dollars. Even renting isn't easy. In cities like Los Angeles or San Francisco, a small apartment can easily cost $2,500 to $3,500 per month or more. Imagine working full-time and still spending a huge portion of your income just on rent. Many young professionals, families, and even middle-class earners are realizing that no matter how hard they work, buying a home in California feels almost impossible. But when these same people start looking at other states, the difference can be shocking. In places like Texas, Arizona, Nevada, or Tennessee, you can often buy a much larger home for half the price of a small California property. Lower rent, cheaper groceries, and lower taxes suddenly make life feel much more manageable. For many people, moving doesn't just mean saving money, it means finally having the chance to build financial stability and a better future. And once people discover that they can enjoy more space, lower costs, and less financial stress somewhere else, the decision to leave California suddenly becomes a lot easier. If you're enjoying this video so far, take a quick second to drop a comment below and tell us, would you stay in California or would you move to another state? I'm really curious to see what you think. Also, we spend hours researching, writing, and creating these videos to bring you clear and interesting information. So if you appreciate the effort, please consider subscribing to the channel. It literally takes just one click, but it helps the channel grow and allows us to keep making more videos like this for you. Number 2, the growing housing crisis. Another powerful reason people are leaving California is the deepening housing crisis. Over the past decade, the state has struggled with a massive shortage of homes, and the situation continues to get worse. Simply put, there are far more people looking for homes than there are homes available. When demand is this high and supply is limited, prices naturally skyrocket. And that's exactly what has happened across many California cities. For many residents, buying a home has become almost unrealistic. Even middle-income families who once expected to own a house are now stuck renting for years. When homes finally appear on the market, they often receive multiple offers within days, sometimes even hours. Buyers are forced into bidding wars, driving prices even higher. In some cases, houses sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars above the asking price, making it nearly impossible for regular families to compete. Strict building regulations and limited land in major cities have also slowed down new housing development. While population growth continues, the number of new homes being built simply isn't keeping up. This creates a cycle where prices continue to rise while affordability continues to fall. As a result, many young couples, growing families, and even retirees feel like they're being priced out of their own communities. But when these same families explore other states, the difference is dramatic. In places like Idaho, Utah, Tennessee, and North Carolina, housing markets are far more accessible. Instead of fighting for a small apartment, people can buy larger homes with yards, quieter neighborhoods, and far lower monthly payments. For many Californians, moving isn't just about escaping high prices. It's about finally achieving the dream of home ownership that feels impossible where they currently live. And once people realize they can actually afford a home somewhere else, the idea of leaving California suddenly starts to make a lot more sense. Now, I'd love to hear your opinion. If you were given the chance today, would you stay in California or move to another state for a more affordable home? Drop your answer in the comments below. Your perspective might be completely different from someone else watching this video. Number 3, high taxes are pushing people away. Another major reason many residents are leaving California is the state's high tax burden. While taxes help fund public services like infrastructure, education, and healthcare, California's tax rates are among the highest in the United States. For many individuals and businesses, this has become a serious financial concern. California has one of the highest state income tax rates in the country. High earners can pay over 13% in state income taxes alone, and that's before federal taxes are even considered. But it's not just income tax that affects residents. There are also sales taxes, property taxes, and various business taxes that continue to add up. Over time, these costs can significantly reduce how much money people actually keep from their earnings. For business owners and entrepreneurs, the situation can be even more challenging. Running a company in California often comes with higher operational costs, stricter regulations, and heavier tax responsibilities compared to many other states. As a result, some companies are choosing to relocate their headquarters or expand operations elsewhere. And when businesses move, jobs often move with them, encouraging workers to follow those opportunities to new locations. What makes this situation more noticeable is the contrast with other states. Places like Texas, Florida, and Nevada have no state income tax at all. For someone earning a high salary or running a business, relocating to one of these states could mean saving thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars every year. That financial difference can be life-changing, allowing families to invest, save, or simply live more comfortably. Because of this growing gap in tax burdens, many Californians are beginning to reconsider whether staying in the state makes long-term financial sense. And for some, the answer is becoming increasingly clear. Now, here's something I'd really like to know. Do you think high taxes are justified for better public services, or do you think they push too many people away? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion might spark an interesting conversation with other viewers. Also, creating videos like this takes a lot of time, research, and effort from our team. If you find this information helpful, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. It's literally just one click, but it helps us continue making high-quality videos that bring you real insights and interesting stories. Number 4, remote work changed where people can live. One of the most powerful changes reshaping where Americans live is the rise of remote work. Just a few years ago, millions of people had to live close to their offices, especially in major job hubs like Silicon Valley, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. But today, thanks to modern technology and changing workplace culture, many jobs can now be done from anywhere with a reliable internet connection. This shift completely changed the way people think about where they live. If your job allows you to work from home, why continue paying extremely high rent in California when you could live somewhere far more affordable and spacious? That question alone has encouraged thousands of workers to start exploring other states. Imagine earning a tech salary from a California-based company, but living in a state where housing costs are dramatically lower. Instead of spending most of your paycheck on rent, you could own a large home, have a backyard, and still save money every month. For many people, this lifestyle suddenly became possible once remote work became more common. Many professionals are now moving to states like Colorado, Texas, Arizona, and North Carolina, where they can enjoy a better balance between income and living expenses. In some cases, families are upgrading from small apartments to larger homes with extra rooms, home offices, and outdoor space, all while paying less than they did in California. Remote work has essentially removed the biggest barrier that once kept people tied to expensive cities: location. When your job travels with you through your laptop, the entire country becomes your potential home. And once people realize they have that freedom, many begin asking themselves a simple question: why stay somewhere so expensive when you don't have to? Now, I'm curious about you. If your job allowed you to work from anywhere, where would you choose to live? Would you stay in California or move somewhere completely different? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read a lot of them, and your ideas might inspire future videos. Also, making videos like this requires hours of research, writing, editing, and production. If you appreciate the effort we put into bringing you clear and interesting information, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. It's literally just one click, but it helps us continue creating more valuable content for you. Number 5, declining quality of life in major cities. For many longtime residents, another reason behind the growing migration from California is the feeling that the overall quality of life in some major cities has changed. California is still known for its beautiful coastline, warm climate, and exciting culture, but in recent years, daily life in some urban areas has become increasingly stressful and challenging for many people. One of the biggest issues residents talk about is traffic congestion. Cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco are famous for long commutes that can easily stretch to 1 or 2 hours every day. Spending so much time stuck in traffic can drain energy, reduce productivity, and leave people feeling exhausted before they even get home. Another concern often mentioned is the visible rise in homelessness in several major cities. While the issue is complex and affects many parts of the country, it has become particularly noticeable in some California urban areas. For many residents, seeing these challenges grow over time has made them reconsider whether city life in California still offers the comfort and stability they once expected. Crowded neighborhoods and the fast pace of city life also add to the pressure. After years of dealing with noise, traffic, and expensive living conditions, many families are beginning to look for something different: quieter communities, cleaner neighborhoods, and a slower pace of life. As a result, people are moving to smaller cities and suburban areas in states like North Carolina, Tennessee, Montana, and Utah, where they can enjoy less congestion, more open space, and a calmer daily routine. For many families, the goal isn't just saving money. It's finding a place where life feels simpler, healthier, and less stressful. And once people experience that change, many say they don't want to go back. Now let's make this conversation more interesting. If you could design your perfect place to live, what would matter most to you? Lower costs, less traffic, better safety, or more space? Tell us your answer in the comments below. It's always fascinating to see what different viewers value the most. Also, a quick request. Videos like this take a huge amount of research, writing, and editing behind the scenes. If you enjoy content that breaks down important trends in a simple and interesting way, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's honestly just one click, but it helps support the work we do and keeps the channel growing. Number 6, wildfires and natural disasters are becoming a major concern. Another serious reason many residents are reconsidering life in California is the increasing impact of wildfires and other natural disasters. California has always experienced wildfires, but in recent years, the intensity and frequency of these fires have become far more alarming. Every year during fire season, millions of residents find themselves watching evacuation alerts, smoky skies, and emergency warnings, wondering if their community could be next. For families living in wildfire-prone areas, the situation can be extremely stressful. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night because authorities are telling residents to evacuate immediately. Homes, neighborhoods, and entire communities have been destroyed in some of the largest fires over the past decade. Even for people who haven't directly lost their homes, the constant threat can create a feeling of uncertainty about the future. Another growing issue connected to these disasters is home insurance. In many high-risk areas, insurance companies have started increasing premiums dramatically, and in some cases, they are refusing to insure homes at all. This leaves homeowners with fewer options and significantly higher costs just to protect their property. For many families, these financial risks add another layer of pressure on top of the already expensive cost of living. Because of these concerns, some residents are choosing to move to states where the risk of large-scale wildfires is much lower. Areas in the Midwest and parts of the Southeast often provide a sense of greater stability and security when it comes to environmental risks. While every region has its own challenges, many Californians feel more comfortable living somewhere that doesn't face such intense wildfire seasons year after year. For these families, moving isn't just about money. It's about peace of mind and safety for the future. Now, I'd love to know your perspective. Would natural disasters influence your decision about where to live? If you had to choose between beautiful scenery but higher risk or a safer area with fewer disasters, which one would you pick? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your answer might be completely different from someone else watching. Number 7, businesses are moving out of California. Another major factor behind the population shift is that many businesses are leaving California. Over the past few years, several companies, both large corporations and smaller startups, have decided to relocate their headquarters or expand operations in other states. When businesses move, they often bring jobs, investments, and employees with them. This creates a ripple effect that encourages even more people to leave the state. One of the biggest reasons companies move is operational costs. Running a business in California can be extremely expensive. Office space, utilities, employee wages, and regulatory compliance often cost far more compared to other parts of the country. For startups or growing companies trying to scale, these expenses can quickly become overwhelming. By moving to states with lower costs, businesses can save millions of dollars and invest that money back into growth and innovation. Another challenge companies face is complex regulations and taxes. California has strict rules designed to protect workers and the environment, but some businesses feel these regulations make it harder to operate efficiently. As a result, many companies have started looking at alternative locations where business environments are considered simpler and more cost-effective. States like Texas, Arizona, Florida, and Tennessee have become especially attractive because they offer lower taxes, business incentives, and cheaper office space. Cities such as Austin and Phoenix are quickly turning into new technology and startup hubs, drawing talent from across the country, including California itself. When companies relocate, employees often face a choice: stay behind or move with the opportunity. Many choose to follow the jobs, especially when they realize they can enjoy lower living costs and a better work-life balance in these growing cities. And as more businesses move out, the migration trend continues to grow. Let's make this interactive. If your company offered you the chance to relocate to another state with a lower cost of living and the same salary, would you take it? Tell us in the comments below and share which state you choose. Your answer might surprise other viewers watching this video. Also, a quick favor from us. Creating videos like this takes a lot of research, planning, and editing behind the scenes. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. It honestly takes just one click, but it helps support the effort we put into bringing you these videos. Number 8, political and regulatory environment. Another reason some people are choosing to leave California is the state's political and regulatory environment. California is known for having strong policies related to environmental protection, labor laws, housing regulations, and social programs. While many residents support these policies, others feel that the growing number of rules and regulations can make daily life and business operations more complicated. For example, businesses often face strict environmental standards, workplace regulations, and licensing requirements. These rules are designed to protect workers, communities, and the environment, but they can also increase costs and slow down certain types of development. Some entrepreneurs believe that operating in states with fewer regulations allows them to launch businesses faster and manage operations more easily. Housing regulations also play a role in how people perceive the state's policies. Complex zoning rules and lengthy approval processes can make it difficult to build new housing quickly. When housing development slows down, supply becomes limited, which can lead to higher prices and fewer options for residents. For many families already struggling with high living costs, this situation can feel frustrating. Another factor is that people often prefer living in places that align with their personal values and lifestyle preferences. Across the United States, different states have different political approaches and policy priorities. Because of this, some individuals and families decide to move to states where they feel more comfortable with the local policies and governance style. States like Texas, Florida, Tennessee, and Arizona have attracted many new residents partly because their regulatory environments are seen as more flexible. For some Californians, moving isn't just about saving money. It's about finding a place where they feel their economic opportunities and personal choices are better supported. And when enough people start feeling that way, migration patterns can change quickly. Now, here's a question I'd really like you to answer. Do government policies influence where you choose to live, or do you focus more on things like job opportunities and cost of living? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion could start an interesting discussion with other viewers. Also, we put a lot of time and effort into researching and producing these videos to make sure they're informative and engaging. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to our channel. It truly takes just one click, but it helps us continue creating more videos like this. Number 9, people want more space and a different lifestyle. Another surprisingly powerful reason many people are leaving California is the growing desire for more space and a different lifestyle. Over the years, many California cities have become extremely crowded. Apartments are often small, neighborhoods are packed closely together, and finding quiet open space can be difficult, especially in major urban areas like Los Angeles or San Francisco. For many residents, this fast-paced and crowded lifestyle can become exhausting over time. Families with children often start thinking about things like larger homes, backyards, safer neighborhoods, and access to nature. But in California, having those things often comes with a very high price tag. A small apartment in a busy city might cost more than a large house with land in another state. That's why many people are choosing to move to places where they can enjoy more breathing room. In states like Idaho, Utah, Montana, and South Carolina, families are finding homes that offer bigger living spaces, quieter communities, and more outdoor opportunities. Instead of living in a tiny apartment with limited space, they can buy homes with yards, garages, and even nearby parks or mountains. Lifestyle priorities also shifted for many people after spending more time at home in recent years. People began to value comfort, privacy, and balance more than ever before. The idea of having space to relax, work from home, or spend time with family has become a major factor when choosing where to live. For many Californians, moving to another state isn't just about lowering expenses, it's about creating a lifestyle that feels less crowded, less stressful, and more connected to everyday comfort. And once people experience that change, many say it dramatically improves their overall quality of life. Now, I'm curious about something. If you could choose your dream lifestyle, would you prefer living in a busy city full of excitement or in a quiet place with more space and nature? Drop your answer in the comments below and let us know what your ideal living environment looks like. Also, we truly appreciate you watching this video. Creating content like this takes a lot of research, planning, and editing behind the scenes. If you enjoy learning about these interesting trends, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really is just one click, but it helps support the effort we put into making these videos. Number 10, better opportunities are emerging in other states. The final reason many people are leaving California is that new economic opportunities are rapidly growing in other states. For decades, California was considered the center of innovation, technology, and career growth. Cities like Silicon Valley became famous for creating some of the world's most powerful companies. But today, opportunity is no longer limited to just one state. Across the United States, several cities are experiencing fast economic growth, strong job markets, and expanding industries. Places like Austin in Texas, Nashville in Tennessee, Phoenix in Arizona, and Raleigh in North Carolina have become powerful magnets for businesses, startups, and skilled workers. These cities are building thriving technology hubs, financial centers, and manufacturing industries that attract talent from all over the country. What makes these locations especially appealing is the combination of growing job opportunities and lower living costs. In many of these cities, professionals can earn competitive salaries while paying far less for housing, transportation, and everyday expenses. That means people can often enjoy a higher standard of living even if their income stays the same. Another advantage is the rapid development happening in these areas. New businesses, modern infrastructure, and expanding communities are creating exciting environments for young professionals, entrepreneurs, and families. Many people feel they can build their careers faster and enjoy a better lifestyle in these emerging economic hubs. For many Californians, the decision to move is not only about leaving challenges behind, it's about chasing new opportunities and a fresh start in places where growth feels just as promising. As these cities continue to expand, they are reshaping the map of opportunity across the United States. Now, here's something I'd really like to hear from you. If you had the chance to move anywhere in the United States for better opportunities, which city or state would you choose? Drop your answer in the comments below. It's always fascinating to see where people imagine their future. Also, we truly put a lot of time, research, and effort into creating videos like this to bring you interesting and valuable insights. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like it, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. It honestly takes just one click, but it helps support the hard work behind these videos. So when you put all these factors together, sky-high living costs, a housing shortage, high taxes, remote work freedom, quality of life concerns, natural disasters, business relocation, political differences, lifestyle changes, and new opportunities in other states, it becomes easier to understand why so many people are reconsidering life in California. The decision to move is rarely about just one issue. Instead, it's usually a combination of several challenges that slowly push individuals and families to start looking for better options elsewhere. For many people, leaving California is about searching for something that feels more balanced and sustainable. They want a place where they can afford a home, spend less time worrying about bills, enjoy more space, and build a future with greater financial security. And with remote work expanding and new economic hubs emerging across the country, people now have more freedom than ever before to choose where they live. But it's also important to remember that California still remains one of the most influential and dynamic states in the world. It continues to lead in industries like technology, entertainment, innovation, and culture. Millions of people still move to California every year because of its beautiful landscapes, creative energy, and economic potential. For many, the state still represents opportunity and excitement. The reality is that migration trends constantly change over time. As other cities grow and new industries develop across the country, the idea of the perfect place to live becomes different for everyone. What works for one person might not work for another. And that leads to one final question for you. If you had the freedom to move anywhere, would you stay in California or start a new chapter somewhere else? The answer might say a lot about how you define your own version of the American dream.